marbling isn't everything of the Wagyus. For the Wagyus, we are more looking forward what is the taste like of the textures, the colors, the aromas, and overall balance.
Hi everybody, you're with Dani Valent and you're listening to Dirty Linen. We talk food. It's endless. We're eating every day and there are always stories behind what we put into our mouths. I love thinking about ingredients, whether they're humble, whether they're prestige, they always have a backstory. I'm not only about expensive ingredients. I think the most delicious food can be very simple, but it's so interesting to look at special ingredients and the way that they, gain their reputations, the qualities that are inherent in them, and the ways that they are used in restaurants and home settings. Today, we are going to focus on one of the most storied ingredients there is, Wagyu. Our guest is Emily Yu. She is an owner and founder of Wagyu Ya in Melbourne. Emily, welcome to Dirty Linen.
Hi, how are you everyone?
Great to have you on the show. Tell us a little bit about Wagyu Ya.
The Wagyu Ya, we started business 13 years ago. So at the beginning, because I grew up in the Japanese restaurant industry. So at the beginning, I just want to bring the Melbourne, so the traditional, authentic of the Japanese barbecue restaurants. Yeah, that's the reason why we opened the first shop in Melbourne 13 years ago.
And tell us a little bit about the journey since then.
The journey since now, it's getting up and down, especially now in Melbourne. But now we still got 4 or 5 venues, the 5 venues, I have to say. Yeah, it's still going okay.
That's good.
We try the best to still keep life in this kind of...
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think, one way to keep businesses alive and engaging is to invest in them. And that can be very scary because the economic climate is not easy. But if you want a point of difference and stories to tell your customers, then there is really nothing to do but focus on the vision and, reinvest. And you have done something really extraordinary recently. Tell us what you have done.
Yes, we just went to Japan. We won the grand championship of the Wagyu in Japan. So we bring back to the Melbourne to let all the diners to try. Well, people are very excited.
Well, it's an incredible process. I'd love you to tell me more about these auctions. As I understand it, there is an auction every April for the most prestigious Wagyu animals in the land, and you secured the grand champion Matsusaka Wagyu, which is the title awarded to the best animal in the competition. Tell us about this process. What actually happens?
Okay. Well, me and my partner, we didn't go, but I had relatives in Japan. So they went to the auction instead of us. The first is the Wagyu farm tour. And then second is the tasting of all the Matsusaka beef there. And then the third is just the auction days. There's the buyers all over the world. So we just try our best to win these competitions, to bring back to Australia, to get proud of it.
I saw some footage of the auction and it looks like the New York Stock Exchange. It's an absolute frenzy with people bidding on these animals and looks like a furious competition to secure it. Was that your aim, to come away with the grand champion?
Yes, we are aiming for it. We are full of a passion. We just want to win these bids and bring it back.
And so how much did you have to pay to get it?
Wow, it's very expensive. It's around $80,000.
Wow.
Because it's a whole cow, it's around 400 kilos. So we are bringing the whole cow, but each cut, because it's one cow, so each cut are very limited.
So tell me about importing Wagyu from Japan, because it's something that you do normally, but it's not always a grand champion. What's the process? You don't bring the whole cow in one piece, do you?
No. We always cut them into the pieces, then vacuum pack. and then ship over. It's very similar to the local farms, what it look like. So because they're all into the pack and they are in the cool rooms, can last for a few months.
Okay. And so have you tried this Grand Champion Matsusaka Wagyu yet?
I did.
Tell me.
Yes. It melts in your mouth and surprisingly, it's less fattier. It's less fattier than the normal, the usual Wagyu. Because the most of people, once they talk about the Wagyu, they might think, oh, this is too fatty. I don't like it. It just depends on which brand. Because each Wagyu in Japan, there's 150 brands, Wagyu brands in Japan. What makes them different is what they've been eat and what they've been treat. So they all have their own identity and characters.
And so Matsusaka is one of these brands?
One of the winner brands, yes. They are one of the top 3 brands in Japan. I have to say this is the number 1 brands in Japan.
So it's so interesting to me that you say it's not fatty. It's because as I understand it, the amount of marbling in Wagyu is one of the most prized characteristics. So tell me about the character of this meat.
Yeah, I think this meat, the marbling, of course, is the number 1 thing. But marbling isn't everything of the Wagyus. For the Wagyus, we are more looking forward what is the taste like, of the textures, the colors, the aromas, and overall balance. So each Wagyu, they have their own different flavors. Until you try, then you will know there's a difference between each Wagyus.
And so as a Wagyu expert yourself, you can tell the difference, like you can sort of see what you've paid for?
Yes, I can tell all the difference of the brands because I've been in this industry for over 13 years. Yeah, I tried many brands of the Wagyus. They all got their own characters. They all taste different. Yes.
Were you following the auction along remotely?
Yes, I was. I just told my relatives, say, please go. Put your hands up. We are going to win this bid. We're representing Australia because we're the only Australia there.
Oh, you're the only Australian representative there?
Yes. We're the only Australian representative there.
Wow, interesting. So what were your emotions on the day, Emily?
I just want to win. Yeah.
Congratulations. So I think some people might wonder, we have great beef in Australia. You're bringing this prime beast all the way from Japan. Tell me about that. Like, what's your philosophy around sourcing?
Yeah, philosophy of the Wagyu Ya group is we're the Japanese base, we're always trying to find the best ingredients, I believe, which we can find at the moment. Yeah, but it's like the wines. Some people, they are having an import of the French wines from the overseas. Well, we are bringing this, it's just for the experience, to create the different experience for the Melbourne diners to try this amazing Wagyu. But beside this Matsusaka, this is just one product we do carry in the restaurant. We also had a long-term partnership with the Sher Wagyu, the local farm Sher Wagyu, and the David Blackmore's.
Okay. And what are some of the characteristics of the Australian Wagyu that you like?
I like David Blackmore and the Sher Wagyus. Yeah. I believe they do the great jobs. I think that David Blackmore, they started business in the 1980s. They are the first of the full-blood producer farms in the whole Victoria or in the whole Australia. Yeah, I like the way how they feed the Wagyus. It just tastes different. Even in Australian Wagyu, each of the brands, they have their own characters and identities.
Yeah. So you're saying it's just about what you might like as a diner. It's not like one's better than the other. It's just different.
It's different. They all taste different. Well, this I strongly, because I've been trying so many of the all different kinds of the Wagyus. I strongly think of the older diners. They should come to my restaurant and try what is the difference between the David Bemo, the Sho Wagyu, the Matsuzaka, the Yamagata, or the Omi, all these Wagyu brands we carry in the restaurants. Because this is gonna be, we do have the tasting set to let them try. It's different because each people, they have their own tasting bud. So it's good opportunity for them to try all these different Wagyu brands, maybe even in the same pot, in the one plate. And you tell me which one you like the most. Because it's hard to make the standard to say which one is better.
Sure. And I guess, every animal or, every cow has the different cuts as well, and they have such different characteristics. Tell me some of the ways that you like to experience Wagyu, whether it's, different cooking styles for different cuts or different accompaniments to go with it.
Yeah, I believe, because I've been eating Wagyus as always, I believe, for example, for the fatty, the Matsuzaka, the Grand Championship, I wouldn't use the long cut like a salon or the Scotch as the main steak, serve as main steak, because this is contains really high marbles. I personally will think this kind of the pot is perfect for shabu shabu, yakiniku, or you eat as raw sashimis. Yeah. But for which is this called a professional, or we call the secondary pot. For example, rump, top rump. This kind of the pot are perfect for Wagyu steak. I will use this as a Wagyu steak. And because it's a whole cow, there's 400 kilo of the cows. So there's 70% we can use for the barbecues, yakiniku, like a barbecues, steak, and shabu shabu. 30% we only can use for the tate. We can make the soup. We can make the curries. Yeah, because my chefs know how to do their jobs. They divide the Wagyu on the different ways to try to get all the diners the best experience. Because I believe the Wagyu is not about fatty. The best way to enjoy the Wagyu is the balance.
If people wanted to try it, what sort of experiences are you offering?
Well, there's 4 venues you can try. We had a very traditional yakiniku restaurant called Wagyu Ya in South Sierra and Niku Ou in City. They are specialized in the Wagyu barbecues. And we also do offering the shabu shabu in the restaurant. So this is the 2 best way to try some kind of the fatty Wagyus in the yakiniku way. And we also have the option in the Glen Waverley, there's a teppanyaki. So this is where the rump, the eye roll, the eye round, they serve as a steak on teppan. Or we had the option of in the Yakikamis, we do have the Wagyu omakase. So it's around 9-course menu. So you try the Wagyus all in the different ways. We start from sashimis, sushis, shabu-shabu, sukiyaki, steak, stews, ramens, and that's the 4 restaurant, the 4 venues. And if you don't want a set, we also offer the a la carte. Yeah, there's many ways you can try this amazing beef.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to Yakikami a few years ago and have the Wagyu omakase, and it's very intimate, just seated around the bar there with the chef preparing food in front of you. It was a really special experience. And, then I wasn't eating the Grand Champion Matsusaka, but it was beautiful Wagyu of different origins. And I think that what surprised me was that the dishes were so different one from another, but also that I felt really good at the end. It wasn't like I was being, it wasn't too heavy. It was very balanced, which I thought was very surprising.
So the balance of the experience of Wagyu course, that's the next level up. I believe. Yeah, to let the diners experience the Wagyu without feeling too fatty or too rich or too thick afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have to say, Emily, you're a very good advertisement for eating Wagyu. So, how long do you think this Grand Champion beast is going to last? You're serving it across the 4 different restaurants, different cuts. It's although it's 400 kilos, that can't last forever. Like, how long do you expect your Grand Champion to last?
I would say around 3 to 4 months. It can last. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So,
Very special.
yeah. And I also want to mention, as we bring this cow, we don't have any margins on the cows. The price we set is very reasonable compared to the overseas, because we do understand now in the Melbourne, the whole situations, we can't do the crazy markups. So we only do this just to create the special dining experience for all the Melbourne diners. That is where my passion comes from.
I love it. Well, tell me more about that, Emily. You mentioned that you grew up in the Japanese restaurant industry. Tell us a bit about your background and history.
Yes, because my family, because they moved to Japan when I was very young, and they started a business there. And then they back to my hometown, China, and they also opened the restaurants. That's why I was grow up in both of the Japanese food industry for my whole life.
Well, tell me more. Like, what's the difference between Japanese restaurants in Japan, in China, and in Australia?
I will have to say the ingredients is a major difference. The ingredients you can get in Japan, even the fruits, the vegetables, the rice, the waters, they're all different. That's why some of the people, they will think, oh, why I went to Japan, everything tastes better. Yeah, that's probably the reason why the ingredients locally are good. In China, at my age, that time, I couldn't remember much of the detail of that. But my restaurant, we also do have the sushi, the teppanyakis. I would just sit in front of them and having the chef cook me the teppan and sashimis the whole time. Yeah, because that was many years ago. I couldn't remember what is the ingredients gonna be. What is the ingredients? But the ingredients in Japanese food is major things. For Australia, the good things is we can import the Wagyu. This is very authentic part. So we bring exactly the same cow, the championship in Japan, and bring to the Melbourne. Yep. That's why you can taste the best in Japan. Even hardly find in Japan the matsutaka.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we also have all the good local ingredients. Like we do use the local farm, like Arun pottery, local farm of the fish. All this is fish. Yeah, this is something we can get from locally. The local produce also amazing.
Emily, what keeps you in love with hospitality as an industry? You know, you've mentioned it's not always easy, but you've been doing it forever. Like, what keeps you in love with the industry?
It's about the passion for the food. Yes, all I know is I want to create something new, something special of this month, and I get very excited for myself. It's just the passion and the love. That's all. Nothing really is thinking that much.
And what experience do you want to offer your customers?
At the end of the day, all the customer, they come in here, they join my Wagyus, they join my dishes, they having the best time with their family and friends. I just done my job well. That's my personal thing.
I love it. And what's your ambition? Like, do you have your eye on another Wagyu brand, another Grand Champion that you would like to bring in next time?
No, I think this is the only ones. As I mentioned, it's very expensive. So this is the only ones. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we better get down there and try it and have one of these delicious morsels. If I was to come and try it, Emily, which restaurant would you recommend? What style should I have?
I think you should try all of them because they all represent differently.
All right. My Wagyu era has begun.
Yeah, we will let you left feel not too much fattiness, but comfortable with a well balanced, the aroma in your mouth keeps a long time. Yeah, don't worry, we will make this happen. We will give you the best experience.
Well, I'm sure you give all your customers the best experience, Emily. Wonderful to chat to you. It's a unique experience that you've been through, that you've invested in, and that you're bringing to your customers. So thank you so much for sharing the story with us today.
Thanks for your time. Nice to chat to you too.
This is Dirty Linen. I'm Dani Valent. We bring you untold stories from the food world. Real, raw, unafraid, hopeful. We're driven by a belief that food provides endless opportunities for learning, connecting, and creating the world we want to live in. Delicious, open-hearted, meaningful. If you know a story that needs telling, get in touch. Write to dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au. Thank you for listening.
This is a Deep in the Weeds production.